We should all be open up to the table of contents. The table of contents is one of the 8 text features we've been focusing a lot on. We can find the table of contents at the beginning of our book. And what is the purpose of a table of contents? What does it do for us? Chloe, what does it do for us?
It helps us find a chapter.
It helps us find chapters, right? Good. What else does it do, Joey?
It also tells you what page the chapter's on.
Tells us what pages the chapter's on. And overall, the whole thing is doing what? Kaylin? The heading's all in, right? It's telling us what's going to be in this book, what we can read. Today we are in chapter 8. Point to chapter 8. The title of chapter 8, our heading is
Tree Frogs.
And we can find it on page
66.
Go ahead and open up to page 66. The title of our chapter is,
Tree Frogs.
that is an example of a,
Tree Frogs.
that is an example of a,
Heading.
headings. Headings tell you what you're about to read. So we know we are about to read about,
Tree Frogs.
we also see some other text features on these pages. What are some of the text features we see along these pages? Griffin.
We see bold words.
We see bold words, amphibians, vertebrates, gills, amphibians, amphibians. Have we come across all these words before? Did anybody earlier tell us that frogs were amphibians?
Yes.
That goes into what we could know, right? Fabulous. What other text features do we know? Claire. We see a photo and we see a caption to go with it. I love that photo. It's super cool. And our caption to go with it tells us this is
Tree Frogs.
fabulous. Let's go ahead and read the first paragraph on page 60. I'll read it. You guys follow along. You ready? Fingers in your books, Kyler, and follow along as I read this first paragraph. As you have learned, amphibians are that spend part of their lives in water and part of their lives on land. They start out like fish because they are born with and they can breathe.
Underwater.
They later develop lungs so that they can breathe air and live on.
Land.
Tree frogs are one type of.
Amphibians.
They are different from most
Amphibians.
because they spend most of their lives in trees. So third graders, what background did we have what background knowledge did we already have that we learned in that paragraph again? Zoe, what background knowledge did we already come in with?
Vegetables.
They're vertebrates, right? They're vertebrates. Good. Emery.
That they are mostly most in trees.
Now, did we know that before? I didn't know that about tree frogs. Did you guys?
Yes.
Some of you may have. I didn't know tree frogs spent most of their lives in trees. That's something that's unique about them, but I did not know that. Viola, what else did we already know? That they're born with gills. Good. We kind of already knew that. Brock. That they are amphibians. We knew that. Good. What is some information that might be new in that paragraph? Kaylin. Now that piece is new to me as well. Maybe you already had some background knowledge on, but it's new that they spend some time in trees. Third graders, I'm going to give you just a quick minute to read this bottom paragraph, and under tree frogs on here, add any information that you can about tree frogs. What do we learn about tree frogs as you're reading? So take a moment to read this. The American green tree frog can be found. Finish reading it, and anything we learn about tree frogs, add to our page. Go. Just page 66. What information can you add to your chart, Joey?
That they are 2 inches long.
That they're 2 inches long, and we did that on our scavenger hunt too, but that they're 2 inches long. Good. Grayson, what else did you learn?
They live in the southeast of the United States.
Fabulous. This is that background knowledge we built a little bit going into it, but we see it as well. Charlie.
I didn't write it down, but if there are a few hundred of them, they can be really, really loud.
Yeah, when they gather, they can be really loud. Good. Third graders, there's probably more, but we're going to go ahead and go to the next page in our reading. go to the next page. I'm going to read the first 2 paragraphs with you, and I want you guys to follow along. You ready? If you live in the southern United States near and lots of, your summer nights may be filled with the gentle chirps of tree frogs. American tree frogs range in color from lime green to yellow. A tree frog's most distinct characteristic is its long toes with the suction cups allow a tree frog to cling and to climb to anything. A tree frog can even stick to a window. What background knowledge did we already come in with, whether it was from earlier today? Zena. They can stick to a window, but why? Yeah, they're long toed suction cups. We got that background knowledge when we were going around the room, right? So we've got that in our brains a little bit about it. What else do we already kind of have with us? Anything? Okay. I'm going to let you guys finish reading this and then add information to your chart again. Go for it. What can we add to our graffiti wall from our chart today? What can we add? What did you add? Haley.
Tree frogs have long toes with suction cups.
Fabulous. So that piece we just talked about, long toes and suction cups. Cooper, what else?
They don't like to be seen.
They don't like to be seen. True story. Ray.
They will come down after a heavy rain.
Okay, they come down after a heavy rain. Yes, Griffin. Or not Griffin, sorry, Brock.
Come down to lay their eggs.
They come down to lay their eggs, yep.
They like to stay in the trees.
They like to stay in trees. Good. We also, in that second paragraph that I read to you guys, did I read that one?
No.
I don't know. I was jumping to it.
Read this one.
Yep, I was just jumping to it. It's fine. Good. This is what you were just reading. Good. I don't know why I was on the other page. My bad. Good. Some good things you can add to it. Fabulous. We are going to go to the other page now. You ready?
Yeah.
But first of all, I do have one quick question about those suction cups. Why do you think a tree frog might need to stick to things? Why would it be important for them to have suction cups? Why would a tree frog need to stick to things? Why do you think, Claire? Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty helpful for them to be climbing up those trees to get up high. We know where they like to live, and it's up high, so they need to be able to get up there. Apollo.
So they can stick to things to catch prey.
Ooh, that's a good prediction as well. Let's go ahead and turn to the next page here. I don't know what I was thinking here. Next page. Go ahead and be on it. I like this view of the tree frog. I don't feel like we've seen him as much. Yes.
This picture might actually be my most favorite picture of tree frogs.
I agree.
Looks like the next one.
Okay, here we go. Follow along as I read this first part again. I'm doing kind of just the first part of our reading for us. If you see one,
Don't worry.
they are pretty friendly. They are easy to catch too. If you catch one, it might sit on your hand or crawl around on your back. So we go out to my mother and father-in-law's pool, and they always have them on their umbrella stands. Always. And so we like to take them off and show the boys, and it's pretty entertaining. My dad's house up in like kind of western Nebraska, they always have them too for some reason, and the boys like to play with those as well. We do, because my mother and father-in-law don't live very far away.
They live. Where do they live?
They live.
To your dad's house.
They don't live very far away. So we do have them near here. It might not be this exact type of tree frog, but we do have tree frogs around us. Okay. You will probably only find them at night because they are...
Nocturnal.
What do you notice about that word nocturnal? It is...
Bold.
So is it important?
Yeah.
Where could we quickly find the meaning of that word? Grayson, where could we find it? We could find the meaning of that word in the...
Glossary.
Fabulous. Where can I find a glossary in my book? Kaysen.
At the end of the book.
At the very end of the book. So you don't need to do it. Please don't do it. I'm going to flip. Remember, the glossary is in alphabetical order. So it starts with A's. It goes through. So I need to go to the ends. Ends. And I'm going to find nature, nectar, nocturnal. active during the night. I'm going to keep reading now. This means they sleep during the day and they are active at night. So yes, you can quickly find the meaning of a word that's bold in the glossary, but will you usually find its meaning in the text as well? Usually the first time it appears, they'll tell you what it means, but it doesn't mean they're going to tell you every single time you see it. They eat small insects such as crickets, moths, and other nocturnal insects. Go ahead and finish reading and fill out what you know on our graffiti wall. So if we turn the page, you guys can go ahead and turn the page with me. If you turn the page, this is the last page of our tree frog chapter. For the very end of our tree frog chapter, what I want you to do is read it, and then I'm going to give you guys just a few minutes to fill out any information that you haven't had a chance to write down yet on your graffiti wall. We're gathering information about tree frogs at the moment, so write down anything you can about those tree frogs. Some of you have been working hard throughout this time, but finish up this chapter in the next 5 minutes, and then we're going to move on. Sound good?
Yeah.
Great. Don't forget to add any new information or information that you come across about tree frogs onto your graffiti wall.